This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. My first two guests today are both here from Thunder Bay Theater. I have Nikki Hilton and Pooja Tolton. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Nancy.
Now we got a lot to talk about today. We have two productions, so let's start out with Almost Maine.
Alrighty. Almost Maine is a romantic comedy.
Ooh.
It's very funny. It's set in this town that is called Almost.
Okay.
Because they never got organized. It's kind of an unorganized territory, so they don't actually have a name. It's just they're almost.
They're almost a town.
And there are lots of, interesting characters who live in this town.
There's lots of little scenes that happen, and so we've got a lot of locals, a lot of core company members, and Nikki and I are both in two different scenes, playing two different people, and then we also both directed a scene. So lots of multitasking.
This show has 6 directors.
Wow.
We have, Kevin Reams.
Okay.
And then Pooja and myself. Nick Hartman directed a scene, Colin Marshall directed a scene, and Carol Rundell directed a scene.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of creative energy.
Yes.
Oh, it would be. And then so a romantic comedy, how many core members, how many people from the community did you use?
I think around 6. I could be wrong.
Any names we'll recognize?
Yes.
Putting you on the spot, aren't I?
Let's see.
Bill
Powell.
Okay.
Rick Messler.
Okay.
Hannah Metke.
Okay.
And then
Connor Larkin.
Connor Larkin, yes. Joe Rabarchek. Kristen Manka.
And Allison
Kanya.
That's 7.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's it.
Okay. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
We forgot somebody.
I hope we didn't forget anybody.
You did very well. So it's a romantic comedy. Tell me when it's set and give me a little bit more information about it.
Well, it's set at this time, I think. Yeah, present.
Okay.
And it's kind of magical realism. Like there's a little magical element in each scene. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's just like a little quirky thing that happens in each scene that kind of puts these characters into a weird, almost mystical setting. But it is very much something that is relatable and that anyone, like all these different types of relationships and different places in relationships, like
So there aren't like 2 main characters?
No. Each scene is set in the same place. These are all people that know each other, but they're all different people in this one town.
And it's interesting the way in some of the scenes you will see a scene previously with these 2 people, and then they get talked about later on in the scene.
Them.
And then at one point, I think almost every character gets referenced.
Yeah, in your last scene. Yeah.
So it's just pretty neat. You know. But all the characters are a bit quirky, in their own realm.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it depicts every different type of relationship.
Okay.
So some of them are like not in great shape, and other ones are just beginning, and there's like lots of different levels of some are really sweet, and some are kind of.
Is it a PG-13 production?
I think
PG, I think. There's,
PG,
there's nothing.
And everyone would relate to it because everyone's been there and done that, probably?
I think so. At least at some point in their lives,
Okay. All right, and the next production is?
Sylvia.
Okay.
So we are going to start rehearsing this next week.
Okay.
So what we know from reading it.
Okay.
But it's a really funny show about a man and his dog.
Okay.
So any dog owner will totally relate to this. It's like about the love between dogs and their owners, and then also the tendency that dog owners have to personify their dogs. And they show this by actually having a dog be played by a person.
Okay.
And so I will be playing the dog in the show.
Very good.
So that'll be interesting. And it's so funny, like, because the dog talks to this guy and is just like totally in love with him and thinks he's, like just this awesome deity like dogs do, so it's really sweet. Yeah. And then Nikki's playing his wife, who is not a huge fan of the dog.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with Sylvia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Kind of
we
taking
have
a little bit of time out from you, huh?
I know she loves animals.
I love it. I love all animals. So But yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be fun because we kind of have an antagonistic relationship
Yes.
in the
Now,
play.
who's playing the role of the man?
Curtis
Brown.
Yes.
Okay.
He is coming in on Monday.
Okay.
And so I'm actually old friends with him. I worked
Oh,
with him
yay.
at Snow Camp Outdoor Theater for a few years, and then I went on 2 national tours with him. So he's one of my good friends. So
Well,
I'm very
yay.
excited to have him come up here.
Very good. Okay, well, let's go back to the first one, Almost Maine.
Okay.
When will that be airing at Thunder Bay Theater?
Well, we've got one more weekend left, February 6th through, we have just done February 6th through 9th.
Okay.
And then next weekend, it'll be 13th through 16th, so Thursday through Sunday.
Okay. So actually, this weekend, though, they can see it right on Sunday?
Yes.
Yes. So
So
this
on the
weekend,
9th, yeah.
when this airs, you'll still be able to go see it today. Get down to
Yes.
Thunder Bay
Yes.
Theater and see Almost
Absolutely.
Maine.
Absolutely.
Good laugh, good fun, professional theater in your own backyard. And I'm interested to see all those little sets and how the little vignettes, how it all comes together and
Yeah.
relates. It sounds intriguing.
And we have some kind of cool special effects too. in the
Oh,
show,
yeah.
so-
Ooh, very good.
Yeah.
Little magic.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely magic.
Okay, then Sylvia.
Yes. So Sylvia is playing from February 27th through March 2nd and March 6th through the 9th.
Okay. And we want to tell everyone to call ahead, get their tickets, get on down there and have
Absolutely.
fun. And we always, every time we like to plug for volunteers too, we always need volunteers. We always need items for the set. There's so many things that people can do or things for the apartments, for the actors upstairs. Invite them out for dinner, all those good fun things
please.
that you can do to enjoy and you know, welcome everyone to our community and,
Yes.
and just have the theater be so thankful that you're all here. Okay. We're out of time. I want to thank both of you very much for being here, and I
Thank
look
you,
forward to
Nancy.
hearing about how wonderful these productions are.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back with some information from Alpena County Library following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Christine Wedge from Alpena County Library. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Good. It's tax season.
It's tax season, so AARP has already had their volunteers at the library. They will be there doing simple tax preparation for low-income senior filers.
Low income, simple, low income, simple, low income, simple.
Right. They will be there on Mondays and Saturdays from 9:30 in the morning until noon, and on Wednesdays from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
That is a first-come, first-serve service. They do it electronically right there. If you have a complicated tax situation, of course,
is
that's
not the
not what
place
this
for you.
service is for, right?
Okay.
We do get a lot of folks calling us to ask if we have the forms, if you want to do your own. And we just got an email from the state making it feel like we will probably have them around Valentine's Day, but things change all the time. We haven't heard anything from the federal government. My advice to folks is really to give us a call, or we'll put it on our website and our Facebook page as soon as we get them.
Okay.
So really do check. If it's a drive for you to get into the library, do give us a call and ask if we have them. And you know, for the circulation folks, they can't do anything about it.
Right, so don't yell at
The person
them.
you're talking to has no control.
Plus, you can go on their website.
You certainly can.
And download
and that,
them yourself.
I think, is part of the reason that the government isn't rushing them out.
Right.
I think they want people to
Printing
start
costs,
to
yes.
transition into,
Sure.
you know, printing their own or e-filing.
Okay.
So as soon as we have them, we'll put them out, but we don't have them yet.
Identity theft.
Yeah, the Michigan State Police have a program about identity theft, and that will be on Monday, tomorrow, at 1 o'clock. It's very common in our community. We have
Yes.
a lot of people who call who suspect that they might have been the victim. And Trooper Ashley Simpson will come in and she'll talk about how does this work, this identity theft? How might you put yourself at risk? And what could you do either to prevent it from happening, or if it does happen to you and you think, this doesn't feel right, what should your next steps be?
Because it can be a nightmare for people.
It really can.
Yes.
I have I posted on our Facebook page a story of 6 women who'd had their identity stolen, and some of them were still dealing with the repercussions 3 years later, you know, just trying to get everything squared away. So it's very worth your while to find out how to protect yourself. If you can prevent it, however much time it takes, it'd be the best time you ever spent. It's a real nightmare.
Let's go to the movies.
You know, in the Bob and Marlowe in Special Collections, we're looking at old newspapers and ads of old silent movies that used to show in the theaters around Alpena in the early 1900s. And they said, let's get these movies
Oh, my
and show them
goodness.
again. And they got Greg Adamus to come and play some kind of old-timey music,
Oh,
which
my
is what used to
goodness.
happen in old movie
Yes,
theaters.
yes.
And so we'll make some popcorn and we'll show some of these old movies, which really do star, the famous actors of their day.
Yeah.
So that'll be just a fun
wonderful.
afternoon coming up.
It will be, and that is Saturday, Friday,
Saturday the 15th.
15th.
Yes, Saturday the 15th at 1 o'clock, and that'll just be a fun, free afternoon at the library.
Okay.
And then one thing that Nancy in our computer area wanted me to mention is it is time to sign up for computer
Okay.
classes. Some of them are full. The one thing I did want to say is both the Kindle class, if you have a Kindle and you want to know how to download library books for free, or if you are interested in reading magazines on your desktop or your tablet or whatever, we have a class on both of those things, and those classes are free, and there are
Okay.
a couple of them left. So just give the library a call at 356-6188 and sign up for those classes. We generally charge $5 for the software type classes, but just to use the Kindle one or the, it's called Zinio, the electronic magazines, those are completely free to patrons. And, those are services that are
yes.
worth having access to, so that's
Yes.
kind of neat. Then on the 20th, Special Collections is going to host a program with the folks from Crow Memorials, which are Martin and Crystal
They're so
Reifenbach.
awesome, too.
Yeah, and they are going to talk about the technical side of stone cutting. And in the meantime, Marlo has done some digging to find out about the folks who started Crow Memorial.
Ah.
Believe it or not, it was two guys from Ontario. They were 18 and 23 when they came.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
she's digging into sort of, like what drew them, what did they do, how, they stayed for a long time and were very, very successful. That business, I think, opened, she said, in 1886.
Oh, my goodness.
So, what would make some kids from Alpena, from Ontario, move to Alpena, Michigan and say, you know what, let's start up a stone cutting business. What an interesting
It is.
story that'll be. That's free and open to the public, and that is on Thursday, the 20th at 6:30.
Okay.
Yep.
Kinder Music.
Mary in our children's section has invited Jane Lusardi from Musical Kids by the Bay to come and do a free kinder music program. They've done a lot of research that says that if you do a lot of rhythmic play, it
Yes.
really gets your brain ready for school. So this is for ages 0 to 4. You do need to be with a parent or
Okay.
a caregiver, and you need to register. So just give the library a call. It's completely free.
Okay, oral histories.
Boy, we've had a lot of interest in oral histories lately. The Besser Museum is working on a project with the Catherine V. fishing tug. We've had a lot of other people stop in who are interested in musicians in the area and the history of musicians, or some folks are just interested in capturing their family's oral history. So we have a folklorist who's been doing this for 30 years who's going to come up and talk to us about, if you'd like to do an oral history, what should you think about? What kind of questions should you
Okay.
ask? And that'll be in March on the 20th.
At 6:30 p.m. Sounds
Right.
wonderful.
That'll be a neat program.
Okay, out-of-district fee.
Yes, we asked our voters in Alpena County in November not just to renew our existing millage, but to increase our millage.
Right.
And one of the things that we've noticed is folks who don't live in Alpena County, we have steadily increasing numbers of cardholders who live outside Alpena County, and we're asking our residents to pay a bigger share toward these library services, and it seems like it would be fair to share that
Yes.
across anybody who wants to use the services. We're happy to have folks as our guests, but we do need to share the costs, especially because it's getting easier and easier to use the library from wherever you are because of all the digital services.
Right.
So you can download books, you don't have to drive in, you can get access to online tutoring, you don't have to come to the library, you can read these digital magazines. As things become more digital, there are added costs, and we do need to share those with the users. So it's just $25 a household, and that will be effective on March 1st
Okay.
if you're outside the district,
Okay.
outside Alpena County.
And that doesn't sound like a bad charge to me. Like you said, if you downloaded 2 books, you paid your fee.
Absolutely, right. And we just want it to be equitable. The
Right.
folks in the county are already paying that. They agreed to support the library in that way. It seems fair that folks from surrounding counties.
And every county has a library, too.
They do. Yep.
Yeah, support your library.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so now I want to go back to the tax preparers again from the AARP.
Right. They're in the
Dates?
library Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mondays and Saturdays, it's from 9:30 to noon.
Okay.
It is first come, first serve. Wednesdays, it's 4:30 to 6:30.
And it's for low-income simple returns.
Right. Yep.
Okay, and there's way too many things to go back and talk about the dates on everything, so
But
go on the
folks, really-
website.
Yes, do go on the website and really do. If you're watching this, on Sunday, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, if you think you know a lot about identity theft, think about who in your life really needs to know more about protecting themselves. I mean, I think we're all so eager to get our parents and even in some cases our grandparents, online and show them the miracles of this digital connected, system. But it does come with some risks. And one of the things that's really changed, I think, with the digital age is it's easier to have your identity stolen because you're entering your credit card or you're entering...
Or shop at Target stores.
Yeah, sometimes personal information, So it's really worth finding out. It's worth an hour to find out what you can do to protect yourself. It could save you a big hassle.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joyton following these messages.
Good morning. I am Jay Walterwright, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is the ACC portion of Talk of the Town. With me this morning is ACC student Brittany Bell. Good morning, Brittany.
Morning. How are ya?
I'm doing just fine. Brittany is a clinical psychology student at ACC, which is interesting in and of itself, but she also comes to ACC from outside of our service area. So maybe that's where we'll start our talk this morning, Brittany. So where did you grow up?
Traverse City.
Traverse City. All right. Well, I've heard of that. So what brought you from Traverse City to Alpena and Alpena Community College?
Actually, my coach offered me a volleyball scholarship here. So that's why I headed over here to the Enemy.
Yes, that's right. So you played volleyball in high school.
I did, year-round for like 4 years.
All right, good for you. And then you decided that you were going to go to college. And you told me a little earlier that there was a family connection to ACC already. Why don't you tell our viewers about that?
Well, my brother's a year older than I was, and he decided to go into the utility tech program here. So he was here for a year when I was a senior in high school. And then I got the volleyball scholarship. And so I came here last year for my first year, and he was here, so that was pretty cool for me. I got to spend an entire year at college with my brother.
Really?
So that was interesting and actually helped me transition to being away from home.
Well, good.
So that was really nice.
He could show you the ropes.
Yeah, definitely.
I know a lot of people who really wouldn't want to spend another year with their familial members, but...
That's him.
Well, good. So what do you think of Alpena now that you've lived here a while?
I've actually fallen in love with it here. I grew up in Traverse City. It's a little bit bigger there than it is here. And I guess I'm more of a small town kind of gal. I love the people here for the most part. Everybody's just so genuine and so nice. And I love the friends that I've made here. And I think that just makes me feel more comfortable, I guess. I like being a little more independent, and I don't know, the whole area it's gorgeous, and there's not a whole lot to do, but there's enough to keep you busy depending on, if you love the outdoors, and which I do. So
what do you do when you go outdoors? Hunting, fishing?
Well, I've never been ice fishing, so the winter's not really my thing, but I love just going to the beach. Rockport, love Rockport. Just going on walks down by the pier and just going for hikes. Duck Park is awesome. So I don't know, I just like being outside, pretty much.
Well, great. Well, we're really glad that you came to Alpena and ACC from Traverse City.
Yes.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about your academic program at ACC?
Well, for the past year and a half, I've actually been going for occupational therapy, but I realized that psychology is what I really love, and so I decided to just swallow my fear about it and just kind of go for it. And so I'm headed into clinical psychology. I took abnormal psych last semester, and I'm in social psych right now. And there's something about the abnormal that just, I don't know, it works for me, I guess. I like the weirdness, and I just think that's really cool. And so I want to know what makes people the way they are. And so I think that's why I've fallen in love with it, I guess. The only part that worries me is the other 7 years of schooling after this.
That's true, that's true.
So it's going to be a rough road, but I'm excited.
So what led you to understand that what you had started out with wasn't what you wanted to finish with?
I think what really pushed me over the edge is when I took abnormal psychology last semester, because we really got into the details about the psyche and about what makes people tick, and that just, it fascinates me, and that's what I want to learn. That's what I want to know. I don't know. The nursing field just, it doesn't take me away the way psychology does, and I think that's why I finally just decided to just go for it.
Well, that's a very good thing. I think you've discovered something that's valuable, and we in the community college world like to say that you didn't have to spend a lot of money on these other classes to figure out that it really wasn't for you in the first place, and you did discover something that you really do like.
Right.
So we think that's a very good thing about community colleges, and we're very glad that you were able to figure that out and find a new direction.
Yes.
So what do you want to do in that field?
Well, after this year, I plan on graduating in the spring, and I'm undecided about where I'm going. I'm leaning towards either Grand Valley or Central, and then I'll get my bachelor from there and then just apply to graduate school and hopefully end up getting my PhD sometime down the road. And the ultimate dream would just to be run my own practice and have my own clients and just be able to help people, I guess, is what I want.
Well, that's a very noble goal.
Thank you.
So you mentioned that you played sports in high school and at ACC in the volleyball team. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how the season went?
Well, this year was a little better than last year. Our record isn't great, but for me, it's just about my team. I've had a lot of friends, I guess, but there's nothing like the bond of a teammate. And there's no getting around that because you're with each other so much and so often that you can't help but just fall in love with each other, I guess. And we had really great coaches that spent a lot of time with us and did a lot of things for us. And just trips downstate, you know, you spend a lot of time in those vans. And so you really get to know each other. And for me, that's the best part. And just the rush of getting out on the court with people that you know are there for you. So that's pretty cool for me.
So you would recommend athletics for others who would like to play?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Athletics have been a huge part of my life. It's definitely made me who I am. So there's nothing like having a team that has to be there for you, but wants to be there for you. So
great. Well, we just have just a couple seconds left, but you say that you're graduating this spring semester?
Yes.
Well, good for you. So you are putting out your applications to new schools, or at least thinking about it. All right. Well, we wish you very much good luck in that endeavor.
Thank you.
And I thank you for joining me on the show.
Of course.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me on the show as well. Once again, I am Jay Walterite, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is Talk of the Town.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.